Day 37, Egypt and Exodus, Exodus 17 through 18, Leviticus 12, Psalm 72. Let's begin. Exodus 17:18. And so, the entire multitude of the sons of Israel, having set out from the desert of Sin in stages, according to the word of the Lord, made camp at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. And arguing against Moses, they said, "Give us water, so that we may drink." And Moses answered them, "Why argue against me? For what reason do you tempt the Lord?" And so the people were thirsty in that place, due to the scarcity of water, and they murmured against Moses, saying, "Why did you cause us to go out of Egypt, so as to kill us and our children, as well as our cattle, with thirst?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, "What shall I do with this people? A little while more, and they will stone me." And the Lord said to Moses, "Go before the people, and take with you some of the elders of Israel. And take in your hand the staff, with which you struck the river, and advance. Lo, I will stand in that place before you, on the rock of Horeb. And you shall strike the rock, and water will go forth from it, so that the people may drink." Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of that place Temptation, because of the arguing of the sons of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord with us, or not?" And Amalek came and fought against Israel at Rephidim. And Moses said to Joshua, "Choose men. And when you go out, fight against Amalek. Tomorrow, I will stand at the top of the hill, holding the staff of God in my hand." Joshua did as Moses had spoken, and he fought against Amalek. But Moses and Aaron and Hur ascended to the top of the hill. And when Moses lifted up his hands, Israel prevailed. But when he released them a little while, Amalek overcame. Then the hands of Moses became heavy. And so, taking a stone, they placed it beneath him, and he sat on it. Then Aaron and Hur sustained his hands from both sides. And it happened that his hands did not tire until the setting of the sun. And Joshua put to flight Amalek and his people by the edge of the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this, as a memorial in a book, and deliver it to the ears of Joshua. For I will wipe away the memory of Amalek from under heaven." And Moses built an altar. And he called its name, "The Lord my exaltation." For he said, "The hand of the throne of the Lord, and the war of the Lord, will be against Amalek from generation to generation." And when Jethro, the priest of Midian, the kinsman of Moses, had heard all that God had done for Moses, and for his people Israel, and that the Lord had led Israel away from Egypt, he brought Zipporah, the wife of Moses, whom he was to return to him, and her 2 sons, of whom one was called Gershom, for his father said, "I have been a newcomer in a foreign land." And the other in truth was Eleazar, for the God of my father, he said, is my helper, and has rescued me from the sword of Pharaoh. And so Jethro, the kinsman of Moses, with his sons and his wife, came to Moses in the desert, where he was encamped next to the mountain of God. And he sent word to Moses, saying, "I, Jethro, your kinsman, have come to you, with your wife, and your 2 sons with her." And going out to meet his kinsman, he reverenced and kissed him. And they saluted each other with peaceful words. And when he had arrived at the tent, Moses explained to his kinsman all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians on behalf of Israel, and all the hardships which had befallen them on the journey, and how the Lord had freed them. And Jethro was gladdened over all the good that the Lord had done for Israel, because he had rescued them from the hand of the Egyptians. And he said, "Blessed is the Lord, who has freed his people from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of Pharaoh. He has rescued his people from the hand of Egypt. Now I know that the great Lord is above all gods. This is why they acted arrogantly against them." And so Jethro, the kinsman of Moses, offered holocausts and sacrifices to God. And Aaron arrived with all the elders of Israel, in order to eat bread with him in the sight of God. Then, the next day, Moses sat down in order to judge the people, and they stood beside Moses from morning, even until evening. And when, of course, his kinsman saw all that he did among the people, he said, "What is this that you do among the people? Why do you sit alone, while all the people stand before you, from morning, even until evening?" And Moses answered him, The people come to me seeking the verdict of God. And when any kind of dispute occurs among them, they come to me to judge between them, and to reveal the precepts of God and of His laws. But he said, This is not good, what you are doing. You will be consumed by foolish efforts, both you and this people who are with you. The task is beyond your strength, you will not be able to bear it alone. But listen to my words and counsels, and then God will be with you. Be available to the people in that which pertains to God, so as to refer what they say to Him. And to reveal to the people the ceremonies, and the rituals of worship, and the way by which they should progress, and the work that they should do. Then provide, from all of the people, men capable and fearing God, in whom there is truth and who hate avarice, and appoint from them tribunes, and leaders of hundreds, and of 50s, and of 10s, who may judge the people at all times. Then, when anything greater will have occurred, they may refer it to you, and let them judge the lesser matters only. And so it may be lighter for you, the burden being divided among others. If you will do this, you will fulfill the orders of God, and you will be able to uphold His precepts. And this entire people will return to their places in peace. Having heard this, Moses did everything that he had suggested to him. And choosing virtuous men from all of Israel, he appointed them as leaders of the people, tribunes, and leaders of hundreds, and of 50s, and of 10s. And they judged the people at all times. But whatever was more serious, they referred to him, and they judged easier matters only. And he dismissed his kinsmen, who, turning back, went to his own land. Leviticus 12. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and you shall say to them, A woman, if she has received the seed to bear a male, shall be unclean for 7 days, just as in the days of separation due to menstruation. And on the 8th day, the little infant shall be circumcised. Yet truly, she herself shall remain for 33 days in the blood of her purification. She shall not touch anything holy, nor shall she enter into the sanctuary, until the days of her purification are completed. But if she will bear a female, she shall be unclean for 2 weeks, according to the custom of her monthly flow, and she shall remain in the blood of her purification for 66 days. And when the days of her purification have been completed, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring to the door of the tabernacle of the testimony a 1-year-old lamb as a holocaust, and a young pigeon or a turtledove for sin, and she shall deliver them to the priest. He shall offer them in the sight of the Lord, and he shall pray for her. And so she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for one who bears a male or a female. And if her hand has not obtained or been able to offer a lamb, she shall take 2 turtledoves or 2 young pigeons, one as a holocaust, and the other for sin. And the priest shall pray for her, and so she shall be cleansed. Psalm 72. A Psalm of Asaph. How good is God to Israel, to those who are upright in heart. But my feet were nearly moved, my steps had nearly slipped. For I was zealous over the iniquitous, seeing the peacefulness of sinners. For they have no respect for their death, nor do they have support in their wounds. They are not with the hardships of men, nor will they be scourged with men. Therefore, arrogance has held on to them. They have been covered with their iniquity and impiety. Their iniquity has proceeded, as if from fat. They have parted from the affection of the heart. They have thought and spoken wickedness. They have spoken iniquity in high places. They have set their mouth against heaven, and their tongue has traversed the earth. Therefore, my people will be converted here, and fullness of days will be found in them. And they said, How would God know? And I sent you their knowledge in high places. Behold, these are sinners, and abounding in this age, they have obtained riches. And I said, So then, it is without purpose that I have justified my heart, and washed my hands among the innocent. And I have been scourged all day long, and I have received my chastisement in the mornings. If I were to say that I would explain this, behold, I would condemn this nation of your sons. I considered, so that I might know this. It is a hardship before me. Until I may enter into the sanctuary of God, and understand it to its last part. So, because of deceitfulness, truly, you have placed it before them. While they were being lifted up, you were casting them down. How have they been brought to desolation? They have suddenly failed. They have perished because of their iniquity. As a dream is to those who awaken, O Lord, so will you reduce their image to nothing in your city. For my heart has been inflamed, and my temperament has been changed. And so, I have been reduced to nothing, and I did not know it. I have become like a beast of burden to you, and I am always with you. You have held my right hand. And in your will, you have conducted me, and with your glory, you have taken me up. For what is there for me in heaven? And what do I wish for on earth before you? My body has failed, and my heart, O God of my heart, and God my portion, into eternity. For behold, those who put themselves far from you will perish. You have perished all those who fornicate away from you. But it is good for me to adhere to God, to put my hope in the Lord God, so that I may announce all your prophecies, at the gates of the daughter of Zion.